The hype is justified. Well, at least for the most part. The GK Kunten blew past every other IEM request I had within the past 8 months, and I was ready to be critical on these like how I did with the Moondrop space travel or something like the KZ Caster Pro base, since I actually thought they'll be similar to other KZ IEMs that was mostly all base and no substance. But I was pleasantly surprised with these, where the Kuntens are still V-shaped, so you get the fun aspect that comes with more base, and you get the exciting or otherwise detailed listening experience that comes with more treble without leaning over to either side, making them really good for those who are just starting out, but not really optimal to those that already own stuff like the Cadenza. Now, considering that these frequently go down to $10 or less, I'm comfortable in saying that they can sell these for the $24 SRP and people will still be getting them just for the sound alone. Now, I'm specifically pinpointing the sound here because the sub $50 price bracket is filled with IEMs like the Moondrop Q2, the Kiwi Cadenza, all the way up to things like the True Tier 0 Red when they're on sale, which is often where these other picks compete with each other a lot, not just with the sound, but also with the accessories that they included. That said, I'll tell you who the GK Kunten is actually for, what's included in the box with them, how does it game in titles like Valorant and R6, plus in what scenarios is this actually good at, on which, starting with where these shines the most, commuting and all they use. In terms of the commute aspect of the Kuntens, they fall within the price range of beater IEMs, where it's one of those products that won't really break your heart or your wallet too much in the event that you break them during transit. Not to mention, isolation here is pretty good with them since the aluminum faceplate really isn't open despite looking like it, so leakage won't be an issue. Here, have a listen. To top that off, impedance and sensitivity for them is at 43 ohms and 109 decibel sensitivity respectively, so you don't really need anything more than the Apple dongle or the GM6 Pro to get the most out of the Kuntens, where continuing with their build, housing is made of resin, at least for the part that touches your ears. It's pretty small and comfortable at 20.85mm for the top width, 8.1mm for the bottom taper, 13.15mm for the depth relative to the faceplate, 22.15mm for the height, and they weigh in at 26.5 grams for the entire package, making them extremely comfortable for all they use. But that's kind of where the accessories aspect comes into play here, and it goes against it. Because besides the housing of the IEM being comfortable and all, the cables and most especially the ear tips contribute a lot to the usability and comfort that comes with wearing them, on which I found that the ear tips are an immediate must change for me, since this is how my ears look like after just like 5 minutes with them on the default ear tips. It got irritated, scratchy, and even the backside of my ears started to get red and scratchy. Now, obviously, this won't be the case for everyone, but you gotta watch out for that. Well, that and the cables. Since although the cables I got for my copy were for the most part alright, these tangles a lot plus cable noise, microphonics are an issue, and some people have pointed out in my Discord that KZ's cables have the potential to provide channel imbalance. Not to mention the KZ-QC plague. Although, I hear you, given the fact that the Kuntens are quite affordable, an easy supposed fix here would be to simply buy new ear tips and new cables for them, like this one. Right? Well, not quite. When we do the math here, assuming that you're buying stuff like the Sankai ear tips from Tangsu, which costs $10 for a set, and you buy one of these K-Berry cables for around $7, the total cost of your IEM now goes up to $27 without factoring in shipping costs. Now, in hindsight, $27 doesn't sound all too bad until you consider that it's competing against the Tangsu wan'er 2, the Moondrop Q2, and the Kiwi Cadenza. Where, before we continue with the sound impressions plus gaming impressions, as well as do some comparisons with other known IEMs, if you find my video to be informative, consider becoming a subscriber so you get updated when reviews for these goes up. Alright, let's do comparisons. I'm gonna put it out there right now. This is where I think the GK Kunten sits without factoring anything but the sound. But why is that? Well, starting with the base impressions I got from them, they're not going to be boomy, muddy, and they won't take over the mids similar to how the KZ Caster Pro base does it. but they are along the lines of the Kiwi or Cadenza, making them have a presence like for the bass. It sounds fun and it's good for anything type of bass that won't really get swallowed up by road noise, making it perfect for commutes and for genres like K-pop onwards to 50 Cent. Like, it's a very safe sounding bass. And fun too. As for the mid-range of the Kuntens, it's pretty good, as my general consensus for them is that they're not recessed even for a lot of Ados music, which tends to somewhat sound compressed and like it somewhat blends in with the instruments, even for stuff like, say, the Tansu 1 or 2, all while still providing a good emphasis to male vocals in songs like Iris, and sound even better for vocals like Adele's Chasing Pavements due to how the upper mids and treble are done here, where it brings female vocals forward as well as like electric guitars to sound lively, but it never reaches that point where it sounds harsh or peaky even while using them in high volumes. Now, before I speak about anything else in regards to like treble and such, if we zoom in here, the 8K peak is the resonance frequency of my setup, and you should think about it like blowing air across the top of a bottle where it starts to ring naturally at a specific frequency. Basically, it's fake. It's an artificial peak which moves up or down depending on how deep the IEM is placed, where moving on to the treble onwards to the air regions, the GK Kunten provides a good overall treble extension, giving it a higher perceived level of detail without the potential harshness that comes with something like brighter sounding, just like the CCA Phoenix, making them extremely safe sounding for a lot of people. That said, how about the technical performance? How about like gaming performance? Because brighter is better for gaming and supposedly for soundstage plus technicals, right? Well, put it this way, soundstage in any IEM, unless we go to the extremes, will pretty much be a meme like across the board. As in, there are minor differences here and there where these doesn't sound as wide as something like say the SV on like a fine clean side with the gold nozzles, but the difference between the two won't be something that you'll immediately distinguish until you do a back and forth. As for the speed or the perception of having that like immediate snap, like a feel of things on fast drum segments, like say Playing God by Polyphia, isn't going to be anything special, but it's also not going to smear over the details in the mids since bass aren't really overdone. As for the two factors that contribute most to gaming, the imaging on the Kunten in games like Valorant is, I would say, it's generally good. It won't let you shoot through smokes on command, similar to what I did with the Truther Reds, where I'm literally actively calling out like where people are coming from, solely based from sound cues before hitting them through smokes and walls. There's one here. Yep, there you go. Like I can.
Spike planted.
Just one person on house. But it's going to have a slight edge over stuff like the Moondrop 2 or the Kiwi or Cadenza in the sense that you won't get confused with directions, but it's still not like pinpoint accuracy. Continuing over to games like R6 with a lot of vertical sound cues, this is where the content struggles a lot, since sounds above and below me generally comes off as like closer and confusing, as mistaking which level are people coming from are like pretty common during my playtime. Although one thing I did observe for both titles is that separation and detail retrieval during clashes aren't really gonna be the best. These tends to perform similar to how the Fine Clean SV with the silver nozzles sound like, where you can still cut through the noise and differentiate sound cues apart from one another, but it can get overwhelming in like messy skirmishes and clashes. Now, you may have noticed that I compared the Kuntens to not only $30 heavy hitters, but also against $50 staples in multiple uses. That's not really an accident here. These are an absolute no-brainer, especially to those who are just starting out and want to have a good for anything, do anything type of product without breaking the bank. With that kind of performance on the Kuntens, I'm giving these a B- tier, since the only real hit that these took to their value perspective is in the accessories, which removes a lot of what makes them feel like a steal. Then when comparing them to IEMs within the $30 to like $50 price range, it wins some, it loses some, but the overall idea behind the content is that they're comparable to those IEMs, then it gradually loses stuff compared to like the Hexa for technicals or something like the Lecture SO8 in terms of fun. Then again, price is a massive consideration, and that's what carried it through the way. Alright, links are in the description if you want to go ahead and get them. Do take note that these are affiliate links, so I'll get a kickback with no added cost to you. Thank you to this month's members right over here for allowing me to fund my burger addiction on stream and such. This is my take for the GK Kunten. My name is Charles, and goodbye.